What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of So. This is the World Christian Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle. This is your other host, Jasmine. Thank you for joining us. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss when we drop a video. Make sure to follow us on Rumble. That link is in the description box down below. And head over to Coffee Brand Coffee so you can re-up on coffee, tea, cocoa. It's the holidays. They got gift packs and bundles and everything you need. And if you use the code on the screen, you can save 10% on your next order. That said, let's go ahead and jump into our very first topic. All right, so our very first story is actually a sad one this week. As you guys see from the title, it says Indi Gregory dies after hospital yanks life support over parents' objections. I'm going to read a little bit of this article and then we're going to talk about it for a minute, but this is like really sad, you guys. So the baby you just saw, the picture, that's Indi Gregory. She died after a British hospital yanked her life support over her parents' objections after a court rejected their plea to let her live. A UK appeals court ruled that a hospital can proceed with ending Indi's life-saving medical care despite her parents' desperate efforts to get her to a hospital that would provide it. The hospital removed her life support yesterday, and Indi died this morning. We're filming this on the 16th, so this actually happened 3 days ago on the 13th. So she was only 8 months old, and she ended up having to die in her mother's arms because the hospital that she was at, I think the UK they have like some universal healthcare plan where it's messed up. They took her off life support, which didn't make any sense because I believe the Vatican said they were going to step up and provide health care for the 8-month-old. And the British court ruled against that. So that's what ended up happening on the 13th. Her parents, who were not religious, actually decided to get their daughter baptized. According to them, they said they have seen the pull of hell in this entire spectacle with the courts denying their daughter the care she needs and blocking their efforts to transport her to an Italian hospital for appropriate care and treatment. Outside of this, her father was the one to baptize her. Mind you, they're not religious, but even seeing the evilness that happened to their child, knew that they wanted to get her baptized so that she can just to assure she would go to heaven. You know, that's the Catholic view on things. And a lot of Catholics said there's a new saint in heaven now, because I believe that's, you know, their belief system. So it's just all types of messed up, honestly. The reason they pulled it, they said that she suffered from a rare degenerative mitochondrial disease and has been receiving life-sustaining treatment on a ventilator at the Queen's Medical Center in Nottingham, England. But because doctors have given up hope, there is now a legal feud between them. Their desire to remove her from life support and her parents' desire to continue medical treatment. So that's what ended up happening. That's when Italy then stepped in and said they would pay for everything, you know, transportation, hospital fees. The Vatican hospital said they would take care of her, and Britain just said no. So let's talk about it.
Where do you begin with that? You know, like, first, I can't even imagine the suffering that's been inflicted on the parents in this scenario. Like, I can't even imagine. They're only 3 days out at this point, and it's like they're probably literally living in hell right now, like, as far as pain, mourning, grief. It's just crazy to me that this is where we are in the Western society, you know?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be civilized. Like, this is civility to them. This bureaucracy that's like, you know, but money though, or like, it's not practical to continue this route. So we're going to do the civilized thing and let her die with dignity, you know?
Yeah. I know we're looking at this with like the American point of view, but apparently this happens in the UK all the time due to how their healthcare system is, which is wild, if you ask
Yeah.
me. Um, I didn't know if I wanted to speak on this or not, but because the prime minister, I think because he's Indian, this did happen before to like an Indian family, and he saved them. But usually, if you're anybody else, you're not getting saved due to how their healthcare is over there. So, what do they call it? They call it like a universal healthcare or something, kind of like what Canada has, I think.
Yeah, nationalized
Yeah.
something like that.
I want people to know. I mean, y'all always be talking about, when I say y'all, it's like a certain group of people. Here in America, a certain group of people always be talking about, I wish we had this type of healthcare in America. But they will always use Canada as the example, right? But what have we seen with Canada as the years have gone on? Now, assisted suicide is a thing, so where they're just pushing it on everybody, where they're
Mhm.
now pushing it on like if your kid is autistic or something. Now it's like, oh, let's do a push for MAID, right? Now we're seeing other examples from the UK because this story is sad, but apparently this happens all the time over there. Can you imagine if we had this type of healthcare in America?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not saying it's good here in America. Obviously, it's jacked up, but like, at least, at least if somebody steps in and is like, I'll pay all the medical bills and I'll do this and I'll transport them. At least that's happening.
Mhm.
Like that didn't even happen in this case.
Yeah, it's a soulless government. Or maybe even worse than that, it's a government that's hell bent on death. And that might be even worse than soulless because they had an opportunity to save this child. And there was another case, Charlie Gard, I think his name was, or maybe there was another baby. There was like two other babies, I think, that at least one of them I remember was like a similar thing where Italy was like, please let us do it then if you don't want to do it. And they still denied it. Like
Which is
there's
weird.
there's an evil behind that decision. There's like an
Yeah.
anti-life position there. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. And it really, to me, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm zooming out too far in this situation, but like when you put like the government is your god now, then of course they reserve the right to say who lives and who dies. Of course they're
Yeah.
not God and we know that, but a lot of these people who are godless in the UK, that is their god. They give the government so many rights over their speech, over their press. They do a lot of gag orders in the press. They're not really free in the way that we are supposed to be in the United States. Whether we are or not is a kind of a different thing, um but yeah, it you've replaced God for the government, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're determining, well, this baby can't live now.
Which is messed up.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it either. Because, like you said, if Italy is stepping in, they're granting her citizenship. They're like, we filled out all the paperwork where she can come over here. We will handle everything. We'll pay for every single thing. Y'all don't even have to worry about it. As the government, why would you even care at that point? Because now it's not even on your dime.
Mhm.
So now we're looking at it as like, you really want to kill this kid. You really want to send out this message of like, nah. Because I think if they allow all that to happen, it's going to be like, oh, people are going to think our healthcare is trash
Mhm.
because we constantly have to keep sending people elsewhere to get things done because we're not doing it. I think that's really what like is behind it. But I mean, if this is what you're doing, you look like trash regardless.
Yeah. Even more so.
So I don't know. I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. But we are on a slippery slope of this coming here to America with the whole abortion thing because we have some states now fighting, and we talked about this last week. We have states now fighting to do abortion all the way up until birth, but then you still have that group of people who fight for infanticide. So when the baby's like already here and you still
Mm-hmm.
want to get rid of it, which is crazy because it's just like you can put it up for adoption or something at that point.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill the baby. I'm just saying, we're going to hit that slippery slope like we've done with everything else. We've hit the slippery slope on. And we're going to find people justifying it in America, just like they've been justifying every other crazy thing recently.
Yeah. It's such a symptom of godlessness, and like
Mm-hmm.
there's no sanctity of human life. Their worldview tends to be around that humans are parasites. Like oh man, I had a friend, God bless her, uh sweet woman, she was real sweet, but like absent-mindedly when I was pregnant she would say things like, how's the little parasite today? And I'm like,
Yikes.
yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know if you realize, like, I feel really strongly about abortion, and some of the same people who advocate for abortion also call the babies parasites, and yeah, but I didn't say anything because I know that wasn't really her heart. Like, she was joking. She didn't understand it in that way, but
Yeah.
um, that's like a mentality that some people, not necessarily her, but some people have when they view the world through this secularized atheistic lens, where like we are not, us humans, we're not image bearers of God. Like, we're just meat sacks. We're just, ruining the earth. Look at how we are, just terrible. So one less human, right? To drain up the resources for the rest of us. This is their worldview, not mine. And I think there's too many people that are like that now. And the ones who are not like that have given away their power by not speaking out.
Yeah. It's just, it's all messed up. But we see that in scripture, right? There come a day where they call good evil and evil good.
Mm-hmm.
And we're literally witnessing it in like real time, which is crazy.
It's horrible. Like, I don't know if we're worse than like the societies that God wiped out in the Old Testament. I don't know if we're worse, but like we're pretty on par, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, yeah, we really are. I don't it's just messed up. Um if you get for those that cuz we just read the story. I know she's gone, but like still like give a little prayer to little baby Indy and her family because her family has to deal with this as well. I know they're just a wreck because they've been fighting this whole time, and just for this to be the outcome, um, I wouldn't even know what to do as a parent, like because
Me
your
neither.
first thought is going to be like revenge, but it's like who do I get revenge on? Like the prime minister, the judge. It's just, and then it still doesn't bring the baby back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, and then I'm praying that, like, that part of the article that you read, that they were saying like we saw the pool of hell, and like there is an evil, so there must be a good. I hope that through the morning and through the aftermath of all of this, that seed that's been planted to show that there is a darkness, that it continues to grow in the right direction to show that there's also light. And
Yeah.
even though I believe that this shouldn't have happened at all. This is terrible. This is evil on the part of the government. um God can work all things out for good, even things that were meant for evil. So from the beauty can come ashes. It's an opportunity for love to prosper in whatever way it can.
Yeah. Because out of all of this, it said their family wasn't religious, but I think the dad said everything that happened, like he wants to get baptized now.
Wow.
So, at least it seems that, I mean, it's going to be weird me saying this, but that seems to be the only positive out of this is that the family saw what true evilness and wants to give their life over to God.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but everything else just been, horrible.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like, we're gonna look back at gosh, I hope with the West doesn't collapse, but if it does, 1,000 years from now, Jesus hasn't come back yet, they're gonna look back at this time and really instances like this will be like, when did they lose their way? It was around that time when they were cool with letting babies die for no reason, when they
Yeah.
had an opportunity, but they chose evil, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Um, Guys, let us know what you think about this in the comment section down below. And who knows? Maybe we will pick your comment to talk about in the next episode. All right, guys, after the podcast, make sure you go check out Jasmynne's channel. It's called Bold Reflections YT right here on YouTube. She basically discusses topics about life, faith, and culture through a Christ-focused perspective. Everything you're getting from her here, you're going to get way more over on her channel. She's done interviews with people. It's awesome. When you get the chance, hit the link in the description box down below and go check her channel out. You will not regret it. All right, guys. So we do have comments from our last podcast, which is officially now our most hated, our most disliked podcast. The first one was the AI sex robot podcast. We had a lot of guys that were just like, why can't we have sex with robots? Now we have people saying, why can't we kill the babies? So we're going to go through a couple of the comments that we got. And then for some of you that left comments, I'm going to be real with you. And I didn't realize this was happening until one of our regular viewers hit me up. Apparently, some of you are leaving comments that we literally can't see. So, like, when I go into YouTube Studio and I can click on, like, show all comments, and I can even go into stuff held for review and all the folders, there's, like, no comments coming up. So if you guys look at the comment count versus like the actual comments that pop up, it don't match up. I don't know where YouTube is putting y'all comments. I'm gonna be real with you. So I'm only reacting to what I can physically see on my end before somebody's like, you guys are ducking and dodging. It's like, or deleting stuff. We really aren't. We can't see it. But first comment comes from Brenda Simon. She says, question. How do you feel about abortion for rape and incest victims? Do you want to go first?
Okay. My position is that a baby is a baby no matter what. And they're a baby from the moment of conception. And being an image bearer of God, this individual human who already has their own DNA, their own unique DNA unique from the mother and unique from the father at the moment of conception. They are worthy of life. And I just don't believe that the circumstances of their conception at all changes the value that human has and the right that they have to live. So that doesn't mean I'm not compassionate about the situation, but I would encourage anyone who probably may have a problem with that, because I understand that is a controversial position. I get that. But do me a favor and watch the animated version of an abortion procedure, and at least come to it with that visual, because I think we talked about this on the last episode, that I think sometimes abortion becomes this like medicalized, whitewashed word where
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't, it feels cleaner than it is, but the truth is that like these babies who are living, breathing human beings are being, their skulls are crushed with forceps, their
Yeah.
limbs are being ripped off, and there is evidence that they feel pain even at a very early stage.
Yeah.
Even just by 6 weeks, they already have their 5 or 6 weeks, they already have their own individual heartbeat.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that it's right to execute a child because of the sins of the father.
Yeah.
That's not right. It's just not right, you know? So that, what about you? What do you feel about it?
No, I feel the same way you do. Everything you just said. And I also want everybody to recognize when also talking about abortion for rape and incest. I know the left likes to like push that as a main focal point, especially when you talk to people that are like for abortion, right? That's the first thing they always bring up. But less than 1% of all abortions is rape and incest. Like literally, that's what it is. So we're not talking about a high number of women coming in for that. It's less than 1%, which means 99.99 whatever percent is literally just because people aren't using proper protection. And that's the problem we have, because even when we do pass a lot of these laws, like the states that are just like you can't get abortions here, they still allow um the medical procedures to be done if somebody does come in for this, because it's such a low number of people coming in for that. And I know people like to use the example of like, no, this person had to drive to another state, and it's like, yeah, when everything first got passed with Roe v. Wade, because that same night a lot of hospitals didn't know what their legal footing was at that point. So you had a lot of stuff going on. Like you had women that had ectopic pregnancies that didn't know what they were able to do that night. You know what I'm saying? We're past that now. Everybody knows what they're able to do and not do in those situations. And for the most part, you're still usually covered for this if you really wanted it for that, despite how we feel about it. And they don't tell y'all that because they push this fear on you. It's like, we need it. Women needs it for this. And it's like, you can get it regardless. Whatever the state is, you can get that regardless. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you have a miscarriage, you can still get it for your miscarriage, all of that. But that's like this big of the pie. Majority of the pie is because people just don't use proper protection when they have sex.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And I don't know. I feel like there, because there was another comment. I think you can pull it up, but the one that was saying something about divine love.
okay, hold on, let me go to it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm totally messing up your order here. My
That's fine.
bad.
That's fine.
So this comment was in response to Cherish Beloved, right?
Not this one, but the other one.
Okay, so
They
this
it's
was,
just the same post though, so
yeah.
probably maybe.
So Thallow Blue, somebody said, how do you, oh wait, it was the one we just read, right?
Yeah, the one we just read.
Born to
This was like a
silence.
response on that.
To them. Okay, so this comment was a response to the previous comment that you guys just saw. So at that little blue says, she probably loves that ish and thinks it's a special opportunity for divine love. Like women haven't thrown children into kitchen appliances over mere baby daddy jealousy, let alone grape. So oh, that's because somebody responded to the previous commenter,
Yeah.
and they said,
Yeah.
I think Jasmyne's against it. That was the other thing. They
Yeah.
said, I think Jasmyne's against it. You're right, I am. and I just explained that. But so because I take a position that a child should not be murdered in the womb, because it is murder.
Yeah, it is.
Regardless of how the sperm met the egg, that is a living, breathing child, and it's forcibly like being killed, or aborted if you want to medical whitewash it. But that doesn't mean that I love the evil of the rape itself.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Who does that? Who does that? That little blue, check yourself, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. That doesn't mean that I don't care about women or I'm trying to let these people off. I think they deserve capital punishment, honestly. That would be justice, is for those people to, you know what I mean? By the authority of the state.
Yeah.
Because God does give government authority as well to carry out God's justice. So I'm not like inconsistent in my ideology here.
Yeah.
And thinks it's a special opportunity for divine love.
It's just a
but
goofy response. That's all.
but it is though. But it is a opportunity for divine love, because there is no love than to bear, no love like the love that a mother has when they bear their own child. Like, you are putting your comfort, your priorities, whatever, aside for this other human who needs you. And there's no love like it. And in this situation that is so horrible and so evil, a mother that would then go and choose to love that other human so much and mirror the sacrifice that God did for us, that is a special opportunity for divine love. Absolutely. So you may have said that as like mocking or trying to be insulting, but actually you're highlighting exactly the point. Women are capable of that kind of love. Even the ones who have been traumatized, they are bigger than their circumstances. And I wish you would give them more credit, because they're a hell of a lot stronger than you're giving them credit for. I personally know somebody who went through this exact scenario, exactly, and chose life and does not regret it. And they gave it for adoption. And that child is thriving. That was a love like I've never heard before. So, like, Phthalo Blue, I hope you come around. In the name of Jesus, I hope you come around on your position. Because just because somebody advocates for the life of the child, no matter what, doesn't mean that we also love rape. That is a ridiculous, ridiculous assumption.
Yeah. Also, I think they need to watch the videos, because there's tons of stories of kids who were conceived under these circumstances that are happy to be here, that are happy that their, parent didn't choose death just because their father's an a-hole. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you need to listen to those people's stories, because they matter too.
Yeah.
They matter a lot. I just don't like and we talked about this last week too. I don't like the idea that just because you don't like something, the response should be to like murder it and kill somebody. That's the most craziest response I've ever heard to like anything.
Yeah, for sure. And like, it's, yes, of course, like this person said, like women haven't thrown children into kitchen appliances over mere baby daddy jealousy, let alone rape. Obviously, there are people who do evil things, okay? That doesn't mean that we pay evil for evil. You know what I mean? Like, and there's two circumstances here. There's the trauma of the rape, which obviously is something horrible, that it's so sad that this person had to deal with this. But there's also the trauma of abortion too.
Yeah.
Like, when it dawns on someone, and some people, man, they have such a spiritual blindness that maybe they never come around to realizing this, and they suppress it, but oftentimes when the realization comes that that abortion was what we're saying it is, Like,
Mhm.
it's the taking of an innocent life. That could be a really, really traumatic reality for somebody to process when they've already committed this act, and possibly out of ignorance, out of misunderstanding, thinking it wasn't what it is. And that is a trauma in itself. So you're kind of like doubling up on the trauma here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One doesn't fix the other.
Yeah. I've told this story before where I know somebody who went and got an abortion, and it still messes with them. Like they still regret making that decision. And an actual doctor even said that before. They were like, I know a bunch of women that regret getting abortions. They were like, I don't know any woman that ever regretted having a baby.
Yeah, honestly. Like, you
So,
never know. You never know. It's like I said in the other story. There could be beauty from the ashes.
mhm,
And that is what I'm saying, Phthalo Blue, that there could be beauty from the ashes.
yeah,
And there has been, like you said, there's stories of people coming out and saying that this was their circumstance and they chose life,
yep,
and they will say that their children are absolute blessings.
yeah. They actually have one more comment. It wasn't really directed at us. There was they directed it at Cherished Beloved, but we could still read it anyways. They were talking to her, but they said it would benefit you to actually read about the cases where a man forcibly impregnates a woman because you're completely inaccurate on their thought process. Rapists get upset when you abort the baby they forced inside of you. It's all about control. They see forced impregnation as another element of their perverse total control of your body. It forces a connection between you two for the rest of your lives. He wouldn't leave no trace even if he didn't forcibly impregnate anyone. This is what's so disappointing about you people. You're completely unaware that rape leaves evidence behind aside from a possible baby. People are voting on something with 100% conviction, 0% education, and 200% misinformation. It's pathetic. Educate yourself. I feel like you should take your own words at the end here. And
Tip
you
facts.
should probably follow what you're trying to say. But in terms of like reading cases where guys do that and stuff, we talked about that. I know this wasn't for us. This was for somebody else on there, but um in terms of like rapists get upset when you abort the baby they forced inside of you. Uh no, a lot of them a lot of them will actually take their victims to the clinics now so they can keep getting away with what they're doing. Just because some guys are just kind of like, yeah, you're gonna have this baby. There's a lot of guys that don't want the evidence left behind. And now that we hit a peak, because we were talking about Ohio, where uh, if a teenage girl is getting raped by whoever, let's just say her uncle or something, um, she doesn't need parental consent to go get this abortion now. She can just go get it. And he keep doing what he's doing. There's no evidence.
It's horrible.
So you're like so far on just one side of like stories. You should look at all the stories. And even after doing all that, what we just said, that doesn't mean the child should be killed just because the father is garbage.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
I feel like you're operating on 100% conviction. So, I mean, like, you're going to throw stones to start with yourself, I guess, you know? And don't talk to Cherished Beloved like that. That's rude. I'm just kidding. I got you, Cherished.
All right. Our next comment is from Jorge. He says, I'm super sad for Ohio. There's never a good reason to have an abortion. And he says, as far as divorce, because that was our second story, I don't support divorce, but what she did is grounds for divorce. If she doesn't change her ways, then yes, divorce this woman. Her actions make this marriage invalid. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I do too. I just saw a clip of her this morning. So there's a sports show ran by the rappers Cameron and Mace. It's called It Is What It Is. Mace, I didn't even know this was the same girl at first. He was like, "Don't say I never did anything for you, man, but I got you a surprise." And it was something called like the Massage Babes or something. and they came out with this massage table, and it was her. I guess that's like one of her businesses, because remember she said she had a bunch of businesses and it wasn't pulling in money. That was one of the businesses, and she started like giving a massage live on air to the other rapper. And
That was after the whole thing?
yeah, this I saw it this morning. This was like this happened yesterday or something. And I saw the
Whoa.
clip this morning, and she's like rubbing him down. And you can't really hear her talk because there's no like mic on her. But you just hear the rapper. He's like super into it because his shirt's off at this point. And the other two people, because he was like moaning because he's getting a massage. And they was like, yeah, we're out of here. And then he's like, hey, yo, such and such, go ahead and dim them lights, my guy. And I'm just like, because I used to listen to Cameron all the time. So I know the type of guy he is. And I'm like, he probably had sex with her like after getting that massage. Like he probably did, because I went to her page and stuff after that, and it was just, you know how girls try to look pretty in the camera, but she had like nothing but his music attached to everything. I'm like, he probably had sex, because before everybody got up and left, he was just like, yeah, we was talking off screen. It seems to be like you're enjoying single life for the past couple weeks. And she looked shocked because he said that like on camera. She was like, oh, no, I never said that. He was like, nah, yeah, you did. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think he's lying about that.
Man, she's just digging herself in a bigger hole constantly. Like, what are you doing, girl? Just the best thing for you to do is to fade away and not make your situation worse.
Nah, yeah, I don't know. Like he said, like, I don't support divorce, but it's grounds. And if I'm the guy and I'm seeing the clips, I'd be like, yeah, I can't get back with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of cherished beloved, we got a comment from her. She said, no, frick, I knew with the power of liberal college students they would overtake us. You're so right, though. I read a verse on how the godly slash good people die before their time to keep them away from the evil. Isaiah 57. So I like to think of God simply allowing these babies to come with him so they do not have to see the evil. Aw, yeah. Also, I think God is really on my friend. I'll call her Cheerios. Yesterday, there was a woman in my art building who says she always sees us and liked the way Cheerios and I dressed. But what's interesting is that she gave my friend a little card with a Bible verse on it. Cheerios said it made her feel special. So here's to hoping God continues to work on her. Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah, that's legit.
And then, oh, to talk about the chick we were just talking about, that woman has all those jobs and still needs money. Something isn't adding up right. So, okay. So for the last part, have you ever met somebody? It doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, and you'd be like, y'all are talking, and you'd be like, oh, what you do for a living? And they'd be like, I'm an entrepreneur. And you're like, okay, what does that mean? Like, what do you do? And they start listing off like 50 billion jobs. And you just kind of look at them and you'd be like, I know you ain't making money on all them jobs. That's probably dude's wife.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you wouldn't need so many, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know a lot of people like that. It's because it's not that hard if you truly are making money off something. It don't matter if it's one or two things. You're gonna say that. Because I used to tell people that. They'd be like, what do you do? I'm a reseller. Oh, how does that work? I do blah 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 blah. And I just break it all down, right? It's not that complicated. It's
Mhm.
always the people that be trying to scam or act like they're making all this money, and it's like you're not making money like that.
Couple dollars here and there.
Yeah, it's like I know how y'all play the game. I know how y'all play. I know too many people like that. It's like you're not making no money. That's why she did the OnlyFans, because she probably like, oh, I used to be a porn star. Somebody gonna still want to see it, and that's probably what happened. So it is what it is. All right, our last comment is from John 4H J Ross, or maybe Jonah J Ross. All right, if I butchered your name, I apologize. They said, why are people so against abortion? Women can do whatever they want with their bodies. All right, well, let me tell you real quick. The baby inside is not the woman's body. The baby is its own separate body. And I know you guys have been indoctrinated and led to believe all this other stuff. And I will give the left their props because they're really good with indoctrination and misleading people. But if you guys just even paid attention in fourth and fifth grade science class, you would know that from the date of conception, a baby is a baby. Okay? That's it's not a clump of cells, it's not a parasite, it's not whatever other language they be trying to throw on y'all. The whole like women could do whatever they want with their bodies. It's not your body, it's another baby body. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's literally, I know y'all always see me from here. Look at this. Look how I gotta go to the side. Look how big I am. Look at this. Okay? I'm huge.
Aww.
Look at that. You think that's just a clump of cells growing inside of me right now? Is that what y'all think that is? That's a human. I've been feeling this human move and kick for the longest, okay? You're killing a baby.
Yeah, and in the state that you're in, you can still change your mind.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
that's
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying, which is crazy. Like it's not the woman's body anymore. I know they like to play the game. Oh, well, you're just the incubator and they pardon me, they can't survive without you. Duh, it's a baby. The day I give birth, they still can't survive without me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're gonna walk up out of me and be like, oh, I'm here now. Like, let me go make myself a bottle and get something to eat. No, like I still have to take care of this little child I just had. So, like, where do we draw the line? Because I feel like they always want to play the game. And it seems like I saw a study earlier where most people are just like, oh, we're cool with abortion up to 22 to 24 weeks. Do you know how big the kid is at that point? They're kicking and moving and doing everything. You're literally killing a baby at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, way, like, we're talking huge, right? You're literally killing a baby at that point. Where do we
Yeah,
draw the line?
where do you draw the line? Because, like, honestly, women can do whatever they want with their bodies. Uh, I feel like you're just, at this point, you're putting, like, the woman as God. Like, you are the God of your own body. You know, you get to, whatever's in your body, you can kill it when you want because you're the author of life. So you can end the chapter right here, right now. That's just, like, that's just morally abhorrent. I don't know how else to put it. Like, that's that godless mentality
Mm-hmm.
that justifies evil for the sake of convenience, for the sake of women's rights. Like, you don't have a right to murder a child. You just don't. I'll never be on board with that.
No. Also, the whole like women could do whatever they want with their bodies. Okay, if that's the case, why didn't y'all make sure the man used a condom? Why weren't you on birth control? Why didn't you take a plan B? Why didn't you not have that one night stand? Why did you not make sure the person you were sleeping with is the person you wanted to be with for the rest of your life and raise a family with? These are all choices you have with your body. Nobody told you to have a night of fun with a stranger and now you're just like, oh no, my life, my career. No, I'm not ready to be a mom yet. I'm just gonna kill it.
It's so
you had
sad.
you had so many choices up until unprotected sex. Where was the choice for that when you were just letting somebody use your body?
Yeah, it's like they want to have all the choices, but not accept the result of the choice. Like, everybody knows that this act that you're engaging in, the purpose of it is to create a child. But if it accidentally creates a child, just
It's a problem. It's so funny because women get mad when men be like, y'all cannot accept responsibility for y'all actions. But let's be honest, like when it gets to this point, you really can't. Cause now like when it hits the fan and you're back against the wall, now you just like, my body, my choice. This is healthcare. I should be able to do whatever I want. I should be able to get that abortion. It's like, so the kid gotta die just because you don't have self-control.
That's crazy.
It's like, I don't mean to crap on you ladies, because I done crapped on the guys before about not having D control either. In one of the, I forgot what episode it was, but but it's the same for women. You can say no, you can walk away, you can not go back to his apartment, you can not bring him back to yours. Wear a condom, birth control. And I already know some people are gonna be like, those things might break and blah blah blah. That's the gamble you're taking with sex. We all know what happens when you have sex.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay, we all know what it is. I had doctors tell me for years since I was a kid, oh yeah, you ain't ever gonna have no kids. Like it's a wrap for you because the accident I was in. End up having one anyways. So like still rolled the dice. And even knowing that I still practice safe sex. How crazy is that? Knowing I couldn't have one. And yet most of y'all can't practice it with strangers. That don't make sense to me. None of that makes sense to me.
Yeah. It's like, this is new information for people, apparently. You know?
I literally saw a chick say, she was like, I consented to have him sleep with me. I didn't consent to get pregnant. I'm like, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like you consented to get pregnant when you consented to sleep with him unprotected on at that. Like
It's like, I'm consenting to drink this water, but I'm not consenting to have to empty my bladder later. Like, what are you talking about?
y'all just sound goofy. Just I don't know. I don't know what sex class teaches people nowadays. But like I said, the indoctrination and brainwashing and medicalization of terms has worked so well on the left. Like, I don't know what the right has to do to combat that because common sense ain't clicking like it should be. I know
Education. Education is the answer. And, like, we're not getting it from the public schools. So, if you choose not to homeschool, that's fine. But make sure you're having these conversations with your own kids because it literally is in the hands of the parents at this point. You have to be
yeah.
having these. First of all, you need to educate yourself and make sure you know why you believe what you believe. Hear all the sides, you know, even if it challenges your bias, even if it is uncomfortable because maybe this goes against the way you've lived your own life. Be honest, because if you're raising a child now, like, this is on you. Discipleship's on you. Education's
Mhm.
on you. You can outsource it for public school, fine, but it's on you. You know what I mean? So that would be the hope, is that we raise our children to understand the sanctity of life, to understand what it means to be an image bearer of God. Who is God? What does God represent? And that's why humans are different. That's why we're important. That's why we shouldn't murder each other. That is like the only hope, because it's not going to come from any politician,
No.
even Orange Man Good. Even him. It's not going to come from him. He's already compromising. We talked about that recently.
Yeah.
So it's not going to come from a politician. It's not going to come from, gosh, unless we have like a revival in this country. I don't see it coming from the populace. It's going to literally have to be grassroots Christians spreading the truth about what abortion really is.
Yeah. And that's already an uphill battle because Christianity is seen as like evil to people now, like,
Yeah,
which
of
is
course.
crazy. And they, you know, it's weird. They keep, I keep seeing people be like, these white Christians ruining the country and taking everything over. And I'm just like, white people aren't the only people that are like Christians. So I don't know why this is like a thing. Like, I understand you guys hate white people now. That's the new discrimination thing. White man bad. Okay, like I I don't personally get where that came from, but I get it. That's like the bad person now. And now they're like just attaching Christianity to it.
Yeah, basically. It's like white evangelicals. It's always that's like always where when they badmouth Christians, they start with the white evangelicals. Even though like Christianity technically started in the Middle East. But okay.
They don't know their history.
They really
They don't know their history.
it's horrible.
It is. It is. Oh, it's all right. Well, that was the comments from last week. We appreciate all of them that we do get and the ones that we can see because, like I said, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't know why it says we have a certain number, but we can only see less than that. I don't know. Because I looked in all the areas where comments would be hidden or need to be approved. Nothing is like showing on our end. So I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know. But keep leaving your comments and we will keep responding. Hey, once the podcast is over and you guys have a minute, go ahead and check out my channel. It's titled It's Your Girl Saying. Basically, I go over life topics, Christianity topics. I live stream every Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. On Mondays and Tuesdays, we do what's called the Conservative Christian Show, where we go over all the topics in culture and we look at it through a Christ focused perspective. You know, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I have a show called Christian Game Room where I'm playing video games, but in between segments or pausing the game or whatever, we're having talks about the Bible. We're having talks about God, right? You guys may even bring things to my attention about what's going on in certain areas of Christianity. We just have nice long discussions about all of it. And if you're into any of that, gaming, culture, Christ, all of it, make sure to check out my channel. You will not be disappointed. All right, y'all, before we get up out of here, I just want to let you guys know that for the Thanksgiving holiday, we will not be recording or putting any podcast up. So you won't see us again until December 11th. That is man.
It's a long time. What
That
are you
is a
guys
long
gonna do
time.
without us? You guys are gonna lose your theology without us. You guys are gonna just go off the rails, and then we'll have to come back and just correct you guys on everything. No, just kidding.
But yeah, but since we're gonna be gone, I just want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy it with your family, your friends, whoever. If you spending it alone, because I know I did watch videos before where some Christians take Christianity so like hard they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So I don't know if you about to go work at a soup kitchen or do some street preaching, whatever y'all got going on. I just hope y'all have a wonderful day. You know, um, I don't know. Did you want to share plans that you doing, or just say you're gonna be with family or whatever?
We're gonna be with family, and
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna eat pretty good
Yeah.
because we eat good in this family, and I love it.
Facts. Facts. I gotta ask you, do y'all do? Because everybody's answers be different on this. Do y'all do traditional Thanksgiving food?
Ish. So we have a blended family in a way, because like we have like more like Puerto Rican roots. So a lot
Okay.
of our dishes are that, but then not everybody in the get together is Puerto Rican. So then we have turkey stuffing that,
Oh, I
but we
got
also
you.
have like when it was just like the Puerto Rican side of my family for a while, we wouldn't even do turkey. We would do pernil. It's pork shoulder. If you know, you know. Hey, my
Fire.
boricuas out there. Hey. But that would be our turkey. We would just eat that. And like, it wasn't until I got married, basically, and I hung out with that side of the family that I actually had turkey for Thanksgiving.
Okay, I got you. Cause we don't really do turkey and stuff either.
Really? What do you guys do?
Whatever. Like ever since I was a kid, my mom and dad just weren't really into turkey like that. So every year was different. It was kind of like whatever my mom wanted to cook.
That's pretty cool. No rules, just do what you want. I like
Yeah.
it. Because everybody's like, okay, who's making this dish? Who's making this dish? Like, it goes around the dishes. Like, who's bringing the ham? Who's bringing the pernil? Who's bringing the rice? Who's bringing, like, why don't we do, like, Italian Thanksgiving or, like Asian Thanksgiving? Nah, that would never happen in my household. Not hating on the other cultures, but, like, they are set in stone here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd be cool with doing whatever's on my mind because I made because I do the cooking now every year. So
Like,
I
all of it?
yeah.
Like, every single dish?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, I would
I said,
not.
hold on, that's not crazy. This
Yes,
well,
it
I
is.
enjoy it. So like
Well, that's good. But
hold
like,
on.
we all bring a dish.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you my menu because I planned this out. Like I've had this planned for like a month now. This is how much I love like cooking and planning stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a Peking duck. So that's gonna be for me, my husband, whoever else decides they want to come through.
Wow.
Um, yeah, that's gonna be like a 3 day process because I got to get it like just right. Um, my mom can't really eat meat like that, so I asked what she wanted. She said salmon, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta cook it. So I asked her, I was like, if I made a honey garlic glazed salmon, would you eat it? And she was like, oh, that sounds good. I'll eat that. I'm like, okay, cool. We with that. And then to kind of do like some Thanksgiving ish type things, just because I like the side dishes, I'm gonna make cranberry sauce. We're gonna do a green bean casserole. I'm gonna do some au gratin potatoes. I'm gonna do
Dang.
candied yams, mac and cheese, deviled eggs. We call them angel eggs, but I know nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about. So deviled eggs, and then I'm gonna make a bread pudding and a peach cobbler.
Wow. That is a lot. Oh, I commend you because listen, it ain't me. Wow. Like, we all bring something. Like, everybody who comes, like, made their own thing. It's like a potluck.
Yeah, I remember that growing up when we used to go to people's houses. That's how it used to be whenever we would go to somebody's house. Like my mom would make something, but then after a while, she just started like, I'm gonna cook whatever, and then we would just eat whatever she cooked that day. So
Wow. That's ambitious.
yeah, but now that like we're older, my mom's older and stuff, and she just got like a house like last month. I was like, I'm gonna just cook everything at your house except the meat. I'm gonna cook the meat at my house and just take it day of since I have to start. I gotta prep the duck and everything prior to, but I'm gonna just make everything at her house like the day before, and then bring the meat on Thanksgiving. We just smash whoever shows up, and we just eat.
Wow. You really do love cooking.
I do.
Like, all the stuff you just named, I'd be like, no, nah, I'll do the one. That's
I already got everything planned out. Yeah, I love cooking. I can't wait
crazy.
because I already started thinking about the Christmas menu, but I haven't written anything down yet.
Wow.
I
I
told
don't even
you.
want to think about Christmas yet. Oh my gosh, that's so perfect.
I told you, man. I like doing that because I was looking at this about to be kitchen talk, but this I was looking at like new pots and pan sets and stuff, and I saw everything I wanted. It's gonna be like a cool. if I get it while it's on sale, everything's gonna be like a good 1,500.
Dang.
And I'm really
You
thinking
you
about it.
take your craft very seriously. That's exciting. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have you come over and just take over my kitchen.
Okay, I'm ever down there. Like,
Have at it.
I'd be like,
And you
"What
can
y'all
bring
like?"
your fancy gourmet cooking stuff. I
I have to.
have I have stuff, but it's not that expensive.
Yeah, you sound like my mom now, because like I was in my mind, I'm like, okay, I just gotta take like the food and the spices and my knife sets and everything. And she was like, no, 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 you gotta bring your cookware and stuff too, because you know yours is better than mine. And I'm like, okay, now I gotta bring all of this over on top of like everything else.
Pack a whole pot.
Yeah, because she's actually off that week, so I'm gonna have her like help me pack everything up since I'm pregnant, and we just gonna take this straight to your house. That way, all I gotta do is come over on this day and just start cooking.
Wow, that's ambitious. Do you have a pressure cooker?
I do. I don't need it for anything
Oh,
that I'm
I use
cooking.
that. I use that like all the time. It is the one thing that I can't give up. I love my pressure cooker.
Oh, well, I thought you meant for Thanksgiving. I have one, but it depends what I'm making if I'm gonna use it or not.
Yeah.
So
I love that you can cook from frozen. It's awesome. You don't even have to defrost it. Just throw it in there. You can.
I know, but I've never done it. Like I just
Oh, I do
defrost
it all the
it.
time because I always forget. I'm like, oh, darn. Got to take chicken breasts out. That's okay. Now, you can't do ground beef because it's like in a lump. You can't do it like that. I haven't tried it. Anyways, get y'all a pressure cooker. It's awesome. May I recommend the Ninja Foodie? It's awesome.
I think the one I got like a pampered chef thing. I don't know. But there's this like pawn shop we like going to sometimes, and they'll get things like brand new, never opened. And they
Mm,
had that and it was like so cheap. And I was like, you know, if they're gonna sell this for like $50 brand new in the box, I'll take it. Like
yeah. Yeah, because the one I have, it wasn't $50, but it was a little more than that. But it has like all the functions.
yeah,
Probably everyone's already dropped off the conversation at this point, but whatever.
I don't
It's got the
care.
air fryer. The air fryer, you could do yogurt in it. You can do slow cooking in it. You can do rice in it. Like it's
Yeah.
must have creme de la creme appliance.
Yeah. They are nice. We use ours a lot for like rice. It depends. It depends what type of rice I'm making. If it's just like plain white rice, because that's what my husband wants, I'll toss it in. If I'm doing like coconut rice or something, or like Spanish rice, I'll do that on like the stove.
Yeah, me too. Like I just can't get it to come out the same.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
cannot.
It's weird.
No matter what I do. Or if I'm doing like a soup or something, I'll just throw the rice in there. That's fine. But like yeah, if I'm making like, Puerto Rican style, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's gotta be on the caldero, the aluminum, the big one.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Well,
What y'all doing for Thanksgiving? Let us
yeah,
know in
let
the
us
comments
know.
below.
Yep. And I hope y'all have a wonderful time with friends, family, loved ones, whoever you about to spend the day with. And we'll see you guys December 11th. That's
Bye.
yeah. See ya.